Excellent.
All good.
Hello and welcome back to Ticker Work, presented by the team over at IntoWork, a national leader in specialist recruitment, employment and training services. IntoWork Australia promises to be the one-stop employment shop. And remembering that all of the views and opinions in the following segment are of course our own, I am glad to be joined in the studio by Poul Bottern, the Group CEO of IntoWork Australia. Welcome to you. How are you going?
Great to be here, Mike.
It's been far too long since I've seen you, so I'm glad to be back chatting about what we've got on the cards today.
Yes, I've been travelling around the country a fair bit between when I've been able to due to border restrictions, but it's great to be back here in the studio with you.
All right, well, let's get into it.
Yes.
And the most recent data shows apprenticeships and traineeships are up the same period last year with an increase of around 20.7%. So given the uncertainty of the majority of the last 2 years, why would businesses make such a long-term investment? And how does it all work in reality? Let's answer a few of those questions and more. Paul, it's obviously been an uncertain time for everyone, and thanks to COVID. Why do you think apprenticeships and traineeships are on the up as opposed to the decline, which people might think, looking at what we've seen?
Yes, it's been an incredible time really over the last 18 months or so, hasn't it? When we think of what's been happening in the different states, one of the things we've noticed is there's certain industries that have continued to get stronger and stronger and have actually picked up quite a lot. So if you think of state governments have invested a lot in infrastructure projects, a lot of homes have been built, people are investing more in their own homes, needing extensions to their homes, renovations, etc. So tradespeople are actually in huge demand. Talking to a tradesman who's doing some work in my place, working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're absolutely flat out. So what we found is that the demand has grown significantly. Secondly, the federal government have actually invested a lot of money into apprenticeships, and that's helped to raise the profile of it further. So there's this scheme called the Boosting Apprenticeship Commencement Scheme, which is over and above the normal incentives that people receive for apprenticeships. So they get 50% wage subsidies for their apprentice for the first year, up until the end of March 2022. So only about 4 months left of that, but only a few months left of it. But what's really the major opportunity for them is to put somebody on for 12 months, get up to $28,000 a year on that, and then in the second year, they actually get a 10%, the third year, a 5% wage subsidy. So it continues to support them over that time. So that, I think, has brought a lot of people to think, well, I'll give it a try. Yeah. Why not? We've got huge demand and we can't bring people in from overseas in the same way anymore. So clearly, we need to be able to develop our people locally here with those skills. So I think the demand together with the different government incentives and the wage subsidies have made a huge difference out there.
Fantastic. Yeah. All right, it sounds ideal on paper, but are there any challenges or things that you've witnessed as a result of all of this?
Oh, look, there have been a lot of challenges. And I think when I think of the people out there struggling with just day-to-day life over the last 18 months, which of course have been exacerbated even further due to COVID, etc. But one of the things that's happened is we have realised the additional support we've needed to provide to apprentices, trainees, and also to employers. Employers also take on apprentices maybe for the first time.
Yeah.
So if I think of the range, like we do, apprenticeships, traineeships, right across the spectrum. Apprenticeships have grown now to about 330,000 apprentices across the country. We support over 50,000 ourselves directly. Right at this point in time. That's a lot, and that covers everything from your traditional trades, carpentry, electrical, plumbing, through to business admin, through to social services, etc. But what we found is that if you look at the latest stats, they're actually showing only about 55% of apprentices are actually completing. Now that's obviously not a good thing. When people have embarked on their career, been very excited about it, whether they come out of school or they come for a career change and gone on to it, we're finding that there's a lot of additional support needed to be put in place. So in fact, our stats over the 50-odd thousand that we support are more like about 75-76% of those are actually completing, which is great. But what we found is we've needed to invest a lot more time into mentoring apprentices and providing the additional support to businesses as well. The other thing that's a critical point is to select the right person for the apprenticeship. A lot of the time people think of, well, it might be a relative, it might be a family friend, it's someone that I like or like to give them an opportunity. But we find we need to do more work, and we have been doing more work at helping them to identify the right person for that particular apprenticeship and to help that person to be able to thrive in their right job. Now, when you get the right fit of the right person and you also get that additional support on the way through, then you got the best chance
really
of actually completing.
Sort of robust set of circumstances there. But
let's
hear from a business that has experience with this system that we've been discussing. And it's very exciting to have Hannah Schneeweiss from Swell Constructions, a multi-award winning company that has used apprenticeships as a way to build a skilled and sustainable workforce. Welcome, Hannah. Firstly, Congratulations on the big award.
Thank
Tell us
you
a
so
little bit about
much.
that.
Yeah, amazing. So we recently won the Small Employer of the Year award at the Victorian Training Awards. Very exciting, a great achievement that the whole company, Brett Mile, our director, and the rest of the team are very proud of. It's a great award to receive recognition for the training and development that Swell have been putting efforts into over the last 16 years.
Well, let's talk a bit more about that in, a bit further. How many
Yeah.
apprentices do you think you guys have employed in recent years?
I think when we did the numbers, it was about 38
Yep.
over our time. So we currently have 8 apprentices with us that are across all the years of first year through to fourth year. So all of them making great development. And yeah, I think we've really tried to focus on employing a diverse workforce, having different genders, different nationalities, and yeah, mature age and young apprentices as well.
Right. So what is it about apprenticeships that make them attractive for your business, I suppose, in particular?
Yeah, definitely. I think for our business, what we have found is that when we're able to bring someone in their younger years, their first year, second year apprentice, we're able to sort of train them up in a way that suits our business. We're able to make sure that they're highly skilled by the time that they finish their apprenticeship. They work with our qualified carpenters for those, 3-4 years, whatever it may be. By the time they finish that, they are highly skilled, they're able to take on a bit more responsibility within our business and allow the other members to progress as well.
Hopefully feeling a bit confident. in their
Yes, they
skills
have
as
a good
well.
confidence, yeah.
Let's talk about the AASN, or the Australian Apprenticeship Support Network for your
Yeah.
apprenticeships. What is that and what do they do for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Australian Apprenticeship Support Network, they provide us support in connecting our apprentices with training providers.
Right.
So we are currently connected with MAS National MAS Experience. So they have been with us for coming up to 7 years, I think
Wow.
it is. Yeah, so an extensive time. Jess Murphy, our consultant there, has provided great support to ourselves as the company and to our apprentices also. So they will connect us with a really high quality training provider, and they're able to support us throughout the apprenticeship journey, just giving guidance along the way.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, let's touch on COVID briefly. And we've obviously had a
Yes.
tumultuous and uncertain couple of years. How did you guys sustain apprenticeships during that time? Because people were sort of displaced in many ways.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've been extremely fortunate to be able to retain all of our staff during that time.
Yeah.
We haven't had to let anyone go, which is, obviously we're, so happy for that. So, yeah, definitely fortunate in the fact that the construction industry has been able to continue throughout this time. Obviously, some industries haven't been as fortunate, and although there have been lockdowns, we have been able to work in limited capacities, but have been able to work. I think that having a really consistent client base for us has been so important. We've got ongoing work, and we also have a sister company, Swell Building Group, which is Brett is a licensed builder, so we run through that as well. So we can kind of rely on each other in that sense.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very symbiotic sort of situation.
It
But
is.
how do the incentives like boosting apprenticeship commencements make a difference, I suppose? And Paul and I were touching on some of the things that are being on offer.
Yeah.
And the latest completing apprenticeship commencements wage subsidy as well. Where does that fall into it all?
Yeah, amazing. They are great support for, I think, any business of any
Yeah.
size. Financial support, no one's going to turn it
Yeah.
away. Small size, medium sized business,
Yep.
it's very helpful. So to receive that, it's allowed us to sort of put that money that we receive back into our training, making sure that our apprentices are offered further education, making sure that we're able to continue hiring and really use that funding to the benefit of the business, but to also the benefit of our apprentices and our long-standing members as well. So making sure that they're all keeping happy and safe during such a tricky time as well. But yeah, it's been extremely beneficial.
So what advice or what would you say to other businesses looking to build their workforce, I suppose?
Yeah.
Just because you guys are doing so well.
Yeah, thank you. Look, I think it's the basic principle of really just making sure that you have a happy, healthy workforce, ensuring that not only your new upcoming staff is supported, but your long-standing staff members as well. You have to make sure that everyone's sort of receiving the support that they need.
No one's getting left behind.
No.
Paul, it seems that apprenticeships, I should say, are making good business sense, and partnering with an organisation like IntoWork helps businesses get the maximum benefit. Is this a...
Yeah, look, as you described before about the relationship you have with MAS, and MAS is part of the IntoWork group.
Yep.
And I mean, one of the things is, you described it beautifully, the whole way in which it works so well for so many people as they become engaged within the apprenticeship system. It's a whole different way of learning, isn't it? It's different from going to university or going to TAFE and just sitting there and hearing the information. It's doing things hands-on. Plus people actually receive a wage as part of that. The subsidy helps further towards that arrangement, but it's a fantastic way of individuals actually learning and developing in their own careers, and businesses benefit so much from it as well. So For us, within IntoWork, we're all about employment skills and support. Maz National is one of our key businesses within the group that actually delivers all of our apprenticeship services for us and links employers together with candidates and apprentices across the country. People can make contact with us on 1300 99 work, or they can look up intowork.com.au, and we can actually put you in contact then with somebody to be able to come out and visit the business like Swell and help you to get going with your apprentice.
Perfect, guys. Great wrap from both of you. Paul, Hannah, thank you so much for joining me on the program. And guys, that number was on the screen, so keep an eye out for that one. And that's Ticker Work for today. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Brought to you by IntoWork. See you soon.